Tale Books, and another in our continuing series of the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft. This time we are talking about the 9th story he published, called The Statement of Randolph Carter, which isn't considered really to be part of the Cthulhu mythos, but
it could slip into it very comfortably.
I think it could fit it quite well. It was first published in May of 1920 in a magazine called The Vagrant, and of course it was reprinted in Weird Tales and multiple collections.
Weird Tale. Let's start a magazine now.
Okay.
Anyway,
there are a lot of weird teals, you know, very, very strange blues out there.
Yeah, they are very strange indeed.
Very easy to find a copy of this story. I have it in both the new annotated H.P. Lovecraft by Liverlight, published in 2014, which you can find those at Barnes & Noble. I also have it in the Arkham House collection at the Mountains of Madness and Other Novels, which was published in, my copy was the restored versions, published in December of 1985.
And I have an ebook version of it on H.P. Lovecraft's Complete Works.
You can get the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft in a nice volume in Barnes & Noble. You can also get it in an ebook for I think it's $1.99 or something like that.
Yeah, I think I paid $2 for it.
Very easy to get a hold of Lovecraft's fiction. Anyway, in this story, and Randolph Carter is a character that came back in a number of other stories.
Yes.
The Statement of Randolph Carter was the first one, followed by The Unnameable, The Silver Key, Through the Gates of the Silver Key, and The Dream Quest of Unknown K-Deaths. So these are really part of Lovecraft's bigger dream sequence of stories. So the story is, it's called The Statement of Randolph Carter because Randolph Carter is telling the authorities what went on.
Yep.
And what happened is that he and a guy named Harley Warren go into a tomb. They go into a graveyard and they see this tomb, and they decide to open it and go down and explore. Randolph Carter stays up top. Warren goes down.
Oh no.
And they're able to talk, but Warren, he's telling, it's dark and stuff.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden Warren just tells Randolph, run. Just start running. Don't look back. Get out of here. And then all of a sudden a scream, and that's the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very ambiguous.
And while the story does continue a little bit from there, but I won't spoil the rest of it. It's a short story.
Yes.
Very short. But
and it was an old abandoned graveyard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One that was kind of tucked in some trees and.
Well, your typical New England graveyard, though. I don't
overgrown.
know if you've been there. There's a lot of those.
Where it's kind of
where the graves date back to the 1600s, and there's stuff. The main Salem graveyard in downtown Salem is kind of creepy like that, even though it's right out in the open of everything.
Yeah, yeah, and those it's like a mausoleum tomb, I think, wasn't it?
In the story? I think so.
Yeah.
But there were stairs going down.
Yeah. Sorry, it's been a while since I read it.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to reread
then you
it.
don't remember the cool ending, which I'm not going to spoil.
I do remember the cool ending. I'm not going to spoil it. But it's definitely, I remember it now, but it was one of those things where I'm like, I'm trying to remember the specifics of the setting, why it was so creepy.
But I'm giving this one a top tail.
I would agree with that. This is pretty good because it's actually quite short and very detailed.
It's kind of standard Lovecraft as far as what happens, but the way he constructed this story, the way it was paced, the tension he built was pure genius. It was great.
Yes.
And just really made you feel usually Lovecraft is just this gray, dreary, gloomy, everything's eldritch and rotting, and this one you actually have an actual tension to this story that is really heightened and really does build fear.
Yeah.
Right up until the end.
Yep.
And
having survivor's remorse also kind of adds to it.
Okay.
I felt like it did. He has to sit there and relive his terrible trauma. And it's like, it could have been me.
Yeah. But he could have run.
I
When
know.
the guy said run.
I know. He was
instead of
being a
just
dummy.
staying there.
I know. He was petrified
Well,
and
he didn't wanna-
confused.
didn't
Yeah,
wanna
he
leave
didn't
his
want to abandon
friend,
his friend.
But
Hmm.
he didn't know what was going on either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, quite an amazing story. Great little horror story at a time when nothing. I haven't read everything from early Weird Tales, but I don't think anybody else was doing anything quite like this.
No, this was
I mean,
particularly
this is
creepy
different
stuff.
from Poe. It's different from Hodgson. This is a lot more personal. This is a lot more looking towards like Stephen King and writers like that today.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about Lovecraft is he doesn't just tell you the series of events. He does a really good job detailing the POV of the narrator.
Yeah.
And I think that there are some short stories that lack that, which is why they're not that great. But you get really good characterization no matter how short a story is, simply because of that trait.
Well, and just choosing to have Randolph Carter not going down into the tomb and relating the whole story from his point of view, the story would have been a lot less impactful if it would have followed Warren as he went down and told it from Warren's point of view.
Because then the unknown is a lot scarier than what you see most of the time.
Even though you get to know what was going on at the end, you know, it's like building it up to a giant release. So this story's better than sex.
Woo! Better than sex. I think too, because fear does invoke such a passion in you. It does kind of trigger some of the same parts of the brain.
Yeah.
Because of the intensity.
That could be.
It is a very short but very intense story. It was very good.
So,
Good
great
things.
story, Top Tail.
Top tail.
And like I say, that was number 9 in our journey through H.P. Lovecraft. The next one, number 10, will be The Doom That Came to Sarnath. So I hope you will like us, subscribe to us, leave your comments, and come on back for the next H.P. Lovecraft. And everything we do in between.
Yeah, we got some Poe coming down the line. We got some other stuff. So
Some Poe, some Dick.
some Dick, some Poe, some Heinlein, some stuff.
Some surprises.
Yes,
Some forgotten planets.
that sort of thing. You know, the usual.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.